This week we are discussing the Eastern Conference. We're going to do our preview episode. That means I need my timer. We are going to be talking for about 4 minutes about each of the teams in the East, explaining what's changed on their roster, what the X factor is for them this year, and also where we think they'll finish. So I believe we kick things off with you, Tom. Oh, no, sorry. What am I talking about? Mike, Philly at the top.
Philly at the top. Wait, did you just say Philly at the top?
Philly at the top.
Not for too long. Not for too long.
What happened?
Hey,
the new Knicks. The new Knicks.
Steady on there.
Good luck. All right, Philly. Not a lot of player movement yet. We got rid of Dwight Howard. We got in Andre Drummond. So yeah, big man for big man. I think right. All right. I'm just going to go straight to the X factor because the X factor is clearly: are we going to keep Ben Simmons? How is the team even going to look? As it stands right now, I'm not super confident with the team. I think as it stands right now, if we're saying that Simmons is not going to play because that's how it's looking, that he's that unhappy, he's going to refuse to play. So the starting five. Yeah. This is what I would like to see. Embiid, Tobias Harris, Tybal, Maxey, and Seth Curry. I think you can swap Maxey with Danny Green, or you could bump it all down and have Drummond in, put Harris at the 3 spot, something like that. But that's what I would like to see. Go a little bit smaller, have as much shooting around Tybal basically, and Embiid, and keep Embiid as the lone big man. I think that's a better way for us. I see it as a down season for the Sixers. I don't think they're going to finish at the top spot in the East again.
Oh,
wow. I think just everything's up in the air at the moment, and I think the East is getting a bit better, as we'll probably come to with some of your teams. So yeah. I've got them.
I actually agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got them a solid playoffs. I don't think they're going to drop too far. But I could easily see it being sort of a 4th spot for them this year.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone want to chime in with anything?
Yeah. It's so I was reading about trade rumors for Ben Simmons, because obviously that's the big question mark over the Sixers for the upcoming season. And I've seen a bunch of scenarios, and including one that was involving the Pacers.
Okay.
With like Brogdon going the other way. Brogdon, sorry, and then a bunch of other players that will make up for the cash that Ben Simmons required. So, and I was like, actually thinking about it, it would sound good. Like if you add a bunch of players that would make the team, the team play well and revolve around Embiid.
Yeah,
that could be. It might not be the sexiest team, but in terms of getting you there and being steady and not dropping down too low in the Eastern Conference, like I see them 4th. Also, I agree with that. And yes, I think that would be a sexy trade for them. I don't know if that's in the works. I have no idea. Nobody knows anything. But
every trade scenario is in the works right now.
Every scenario. But
you're the person that uses the word sexy as much as possible. Every time we have a podcast, you're
I'm
like
trying to get in there.
Sexy team.
It's a sexy
move.
Sexy and
sexy podcast. It's a sexy podcast. No, and then my other. I mean, I agree with everything else you said. Like 4th, everything they could be doing well. They could, like, depends who they get instead of Simmons. But like, I think the same. I'm asking the same questions that everybody else is asking, which is or are the Sixers thinking that, are they looking at Simmons and thinking he's better than he actually is? Do you know what I mean? Like his trade value is higher than he actually is. Or they're waiting too much in return. That's my question.
Well, that's what everybody's saying, right? But at the moment, like last year, we were a title contender with him on the thing. You take him out, and we're dropping that much. You kind of still think that he is worth a significant amount, but it's more his attitude right now that is tanking his value. It's really, I think it's really difficult, but I think they hold out until Christmas. I think it's going to be a bad start to the year, to be honest with you.
Damn. But then the question has to be asked, if you got where you got second round with him, were you a title contender with him?
Well, that's why I think that's why he's on his way out, right? Like I think the team could be set up a little bit better, maybe. But yeah, I think that is the big debate, really. There's a lot of people that like Simmons enough to say that we were. He's still really young, but I don't see it. I don't see it. You can't refuse to shoot that much. It goes back down to that, right? Like we went over so much,
it's a hindrance.
You can't be at that level, be playing as much as what he does, and just refuse to shoot. It just limits the team so badly that I don't see it. And if the rest of the league is looking at that, it's not a good situation. If he comes back and actually plays and can try and show something, that would be better, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. So,
All right. Thank you, Michael. We have to move on to the NBA champions, the New Jersey Brooklyn, the only team in New York, Brooklyn Nets.
As many titles as us. Well done, guys.
Crown them early, just because it helps with dealing with the expectations. So we have the Brooklyn Nets. They had ins of Patty Mills was the big one, Javon Carter, and they signed rookie Cam Thomas, who is a bucket getter. Significant out. I only have Landry Shamet. I don't know if I'm missing someone else there. But I think you can see from those moves that they wanted to bolster their guard options. I don't know if they feel like someone in their guard rotation might be unreliable or anything like that, but they chose to stock up in that department. They managed to bring back Aldridge, obviously, and re-sign Blake Griffin as well. But the X factor for them is going to be their health. Straight up and down, point period. It's going to be their health. If they can stay healthy, I think their top end talent is too good for anyone else in the NBA to handle. And they would eventually find their way to a championship. I think they did a good job of working out the defense as the year went on last year, and managed to play well defensively in the playoffs. And I had them as I put contender just because that's what the category is called, but I think they are my NBA title favorites.
God tier.
But the thing is, obviously, we cannot look the other way and not talk about the vaccinations of Kyrie Irving, right? Like, because if he doesn't get vaccinated, he's going to miss a lot of games, right?
I don't even think they did. Sorry, go on.
Thing.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit, Jose.
Sorry, I just said that would that Kyrie's vaccination status be part of are they healthy or not?
I guess that does count. It's in terms of games played. The funny thing is, like, if he misses every home game, just count it as rest. Like, have a mental health day, Kyrie. Like, I think it would kind of suit him. But it's just that come playoff time, you would want him suiting up for every game. So,
of course, yeah.
If as long as it's very nonchalant and it seems very arrogant to say, but I'm not a Nets fan, so I'm going to say it. as long as he suits up for playoff games, then the rest of the stuff they can work out in time.
But the thing is, how disruptive is it to a group that the guy just shows up, plays a couple games at away or whatever, and then is not there for the next runs of games, and then it's away again and in and out. It's like being your point guard as well.
Yeah, he's the two guard. Harden's the point guard. The weird thing about all of this is, as much as people on the outside are raging about and talking about this issue so much, the players actually seem quite unified in their opinion that players should not be forced to get the vaccination. Yeah. Like I haven't seen any player come out and say like what they're doing is stupid, what they're doing is crazy, what they're doing is this or that. They all seem to be. What did he say exactly though? Was he?
Well, his position was that.
I know he said it was disappointing that LeBron didn't champion it, but that's also another issue. I don't feel like anyone's come out and actually damned them for not taking it. Draymond had a bit of a word of support for Wiggins and the other players that have taken the choice not to, and LeBron came out and backed him up and said, couldn't have said it better myself. And those are two players that are vaccinated.
If I have to say that, if you've listened to the Draymond analogy that he used, is one of the most, whether you're or not, it's one of the stupidest analogy I've ever heard in my life. Like even I
was about seagulls and trailers.
Yeah, well, there you go. That was up there with seagulls and trailers. Yeah, get pretty up there on the wall. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just all weird for me.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation. It's a really tough situation. But to be honest with you, I think that the Nets, even without Kyrie, probably have the best starting five in the East.
In the NBA?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, maybe just in the East. But yeah, just one of those things.
Yeah.
But didn't mention Aldridge is back out of retirement in the sort of incomings, I guess, because he didn't really play for them at all last year.
Yeah.
Was back in.
Yeah, I did mention him as re-signing as well as Blake Griffin. But yeah, they reload and they go again. I think we'll see something similar. Next up, we have the NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks back to defend. What are they going to do this year, Jose?
The Milwaukee Bucks. Well, I mean, they're still the champions, aren't they?
Yep.
And they kept a big. I mean, they kept their core players. The only players they lost. I think the biggest loss is PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
Heat, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. And we'll talk about that later. I think it's a great addition to the Heat. They lost Brim Forbes, who went back to the Spurs. And they lost Sam Merrill.
Someone misses him.
Someone. Free agents. Justin Jackson, Teague, and Tupain became free agents. They added via the draft Mamukelashvili,
great player
overall.
Shooter.
And Georgios Kalatsakis.
Great player, shooter.
Greek maybe?
Sure.
Sounds Greek.
Yeah, I don't know any good Greek players.
You get a gold star. You get a gold star for trying. Well done.
You say
good Greek players.
while you're doing the Bucks.
And they added, via free agency really, but some of them were already there, like George Hill, Rodney Hood, Ojeleye, and Justin Robinson. Not the Justin Robinson we were just talking about. Another Justin Robinson. I actually double checked just in case.
Hold up.
Yeah, I remember double taking last season.
Yeah, and they also got Grayson Allen from the Grizzlies. I really dislike that player.
Yeah.
Although he can bring sometimes some, good qualities to the game. He's
a dirty player.
Dirty player, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean the Bucks again. They kept their core players. The X factor continues to be one of the most dominant players this day, if not the most dominant, which is Giannis. He can't be defended by anyone unless it's, sometimes Gobert can defend him, but not if he starts, from the perimeter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're still going to be contenders. Like they've been contenders for the last 4 years, even though the past, if you take away the finals last year and the championship, obviously the previous 2 editions of the NBA playoffs, they got to semifinals or even like second round, but finals or second round, but in conference, but they lack the experience, and now they have all the experience. They made it all the way, didn't they? So 100% contenders. I mean, they proved as well last year that their health is important, but they are so much more healthier, younger, and can take injuries. We can talk about it 1,000 times, right? Giannis' injury in the finals, and then in the semifinal. In conference finals, and then just play the whole, finals like nothing happened. So they're going to be absolute contenders, and I see them playing, conference finals again, 100%.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they are going to be steady. They're going to be they're going to be that calming influence almost on the league, in a sense that we know what to expect from them now.
Yeah.
I think they will make a deep run, injuries permitting. They're a defensive team. They rely on defense, and that is the most stable thing in the league. And then it will just be a matter of who they come up against in the playoffs, what the matchups are, and whether they can score enough. But yeah, I would agree. Contenders again this year.
They are the Spurs of the East.
Ooh.
Steady.
What, 2007?
Yeah, 2000 and whatever it was.
Sorry, 99 through 14. That's what you want to say, right? That's what you want to say. Oh, sorry, 99 through 17, actually.
It's fine. One of my favorite team at the time.
During that time, the Knicks disappeared, so you probably
99. No, we were there. 99.
Doesn't remember. Doesn't remember.
Friendly fire.
99. We were there 99.